Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another video. Today's video is a review of the movie A Party Gone Wrong on Lifetime. Yes. So basically it stars 4 girls and her mother. So one of the girls' name is April, Taylor, Brittany, Natalie. So guys, if y'all watch it, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn post notifications, comment down below, and we're going to get right into this. Okay, yeah, so, and the April's mom, but she goes by in the movie Miss Bishop. So all the girls, I guess they're in high school, whatever, and they're supposed to be getting ready for college, because it's their last year of school, so they're all seniors. So April, I think she's in a program to like fix cars and stuff like that. So she's working on the car. And her friends Taylor and Brittany are outside. And her mother, she's a dance instructor. So she's working on the car or whatever. So they're supposed to be having a end of the school year party. And April was like, she don't want to go because, you know, her ex, Sam, and his new girlfriend supposedly is their ex-best friend, Natalie. Like, she didn't expect them to get down like that, and it seemed like that, but it's crazy. So, and eventually her mother convinces her to go to the party, but on a stipulation that April tells her mom to ask out one of the co-workers where she worked out on a date. So her mom was like, okay, if you go, I'll do it, okay? So she ended up going. Taylor gets her dress or whatever because she borrowed some of her clothes. So Taylor and Brittany help April get dressed, and they end up going to the party. Supposedly it was like some big event, I guess, at the school or it's like a study hall type party. They went there. Come to find out, Brittany helped Sam plan the party. So April was kind of upset with that. So it was like she ended up going to the bathroom so she could freshen up. As she's getting ready to leave out of there from washing her hands, out comes Natalie, the ex-best friend, out of the bathroom, and she tries to talk to her. And Natalie don't want no parts of it. She like just shoves her off or whatever. So April goes back out to the party, and she ends up going to the bar. Brittany goes to the bar, and I guess she asks the bartender for a drink. Supposedly she was going to have some ginger ale, but, you know, it was the laced drink. So, eventually, April sees Sam dancing with Taylor. But, you know, in April's mind, everything with Sam is, like, the worst. So, basically, it's like he going from friend to friend to friend in her mind. But, you know, they were just dancing or whatever. So after that, April decides that she wants to go home. But Taylor drove them all to the party. So April was like, I'm going to just call a ride and go home. So Brittany helps walk April out. And I guess some form or another, Brittany ends up getting April's phone to call her. Excuse me. Oh. Call her an Uber or whatever. So the Uber comes, but see, April don't know that because she's like out of it from the drink that she got from the bar. So this van pulls up, and this guy was like, car for April or whatever. So April's stumbling all over the place, and Brittany is trying to help her into the car, but the dude goes by the name Mike. He's like, I got it. But Brittany screams at him like, I got it. So after that, Brittany helps April into the van. And, you know, she's still disorientated. And Brittany closes the door. But she has like this discerning look like, what did I do? Should I let her stay, or should I just take her out? Like, but eventually the van pulls off, and you see her looking back like, oh my God, what did I just do? So the guy ends up taking her to the middle of nowhere, And then they end up at this warehouse, and there was another guy that came out. And they end up helping her into the building, and they end up putting her in the freezer. So while she's in the freezer, she ends up turning on the freezer. Because basically it's a freezer without, the coldness on. So she ends up turning the coldness on the fan, and it starts getting cold very, very fast. But the thing is, she couldn't turn it off because she ended up breaking a knob. So basically it was stuck in the cold position. So after, I think, being in for like 10 minutes or so, in comes this other girl. Lo and behold, it was Natalie. So Natalie's in there with April in the freezer freezing. And then Natalie tells April, like, I think Brittany's behind this. She might be in on it because a silver van came and picked me up. And Natalie had all the bruises and stuff all over her face or whatever. And April was not trying to hear that Brittany was in on it. So Natalie tells her what happened and tells April that, Brittany might have died because the guy ended up hitting on her and she was knocked down to the ground. So after they in there, whatever, the guys come in, talk and stuff like that. And then comes this lady. I guess she's the doctor. She starts examining them and asking them, do they have all these questions or whatever, and they tell her no and stuff like that. Then, come to find out, the guy that drove them there is Brittany's brother. Yes, Brittany's brother. It's crazy. So basically, they were all involved into this, like, organ trafficking, kind of like human trafficking, but they're taking people that they don't think, taking girls that nobody would miss, basically the black girls. Taking the black girls that they can use their organs to sell on the black market to get money for it. And I guess just dispose of their bodies. So nobody's going to miss them. So let's just take these. So eventually Taylor and Sam, they get worried. They're like, well, what happened to April? She never made it home. Let's go to her home and check. They end up getting there, waiting there for her mom, Miss Bishop, to get there. And she's like, well, where's April? They go in the house, calling for her. She's not there. Good thing her mom had this tracker on her phone. So basically, she was tracking April's cell phone. And they end up going into, like, this deserted woods or whatever. So it was Sam, Taylor, and Miss Bishop. They end up at this field, like a maize field, whatever, cornfield, whatever you call it. And they start looking around. They got to lower their voice because you never know who could be out there watching or whatever. So they got their flashlight, the cell phone light, and they're carefully walking around the field quietly to not make no noise or whatever because, people could be watching. They end up finding Brittany's car, but Brittany's nowhere in sight. After that, they start walking back to the car because Miss Bishop and Taylor, they look around this house that's there. She wasn't there, but her phone, April's phone was there. So they was like, that's a good sign, but they didn't find her nowhere else. So because at first Sam didn't want to help with them, so they said, walk back to the car. So as Miss Bishop and Taylor start walking back to the car, they see Brittany's brother, and Sam. And they see Brittany's brother bash Sam in the head with this shovel like 5 or 6 times. And they end up taking him to the car. And they was being very quiet. I know they was crying at the same time, but they was very quiet. And they end up following them to the warehouse where April and Natalie are being held captive. And Miss Bishop, she's a G for that because she kept persistent. Like, listen, I'm going to get my baby. Taylor, she a real one too. She was like, listen, I'm gonna help you out. So basically, Miss Bishop, she sees Brittany come out of the warehouse. And she ended up grabbing her behind. She's like, where's my daughter? At first, Brittany's crying like, I don't want to do it. And then, Miss Bishop had this, what the heck you call that? Crowbar. Yeah, crowbar. She was like, listen, where's my daughter? She's like, all right, I'm gonna tell you. So they end up going back inside. Taylor, for some reason, she's still stuck out in the car. I'm surprised nobody came out to find her or whatever. So that's good on her part. So Brittany tells Miss Bishop where she's at, and she finds her. And it's like Miss Bishop tells Brittany, you got two choices. You can either help, or you going down for this. So she eventually helps, goes take her to the freezer. And Mike is there, her brother, and he found out that Brittany helped Miss Bishop get to where the girls was, and he was like, no, he gonna try to lock her in the freezer, but Miss Bishop had the crowbar, and they helped pry the door open, but Brittany, he ended up knocking outside the door. So Brittany hit Mike in the head or the arm with the crowbar, and it dropped down to the floor, and he let go of the door, and they was able to get out. Miss Bishop, she finds where April is, and Natalie too, because at first April thought Natalie was dead, because it's cold in the freezer. Eventually you start losing all consciousness and you start falling asleep. So she did that, but I guess it was just to help save some energy on her body. So Natalie and Miss Bishop, they go find where April is, and the doctor's there along with that other guy that helped bring them into the building, and they start fighting, and eventually the cops come because Taylor called the cops and she was able to get through to them. So the cops come and arrest all of them. Long story short, Brittany goes to rehab, and April and Natalie tell their story to a newscast or whatever. And to be honest, this is based on a true story. Like, I've never known this to happen to anybody, but this is based on a true story. And it's basically two black girls got put into a almost organ trafficking ring. Like, if it wasn't for the persistence of her mother and her friend, they would have died. And Brittany, even though she helped put them in that situation, she managed to help get them out at the same time. So, overall, it's worth the movie seeing. And also, be careful who your friends are, because you never know. They might put you in danger. But anyways, I hope y'all guys enjoyed. They end up getting out, of course, y'all see. They end up telling their story. And they learn to live another day. They go visit Brittany at the rehab. They put their picture back together. And it was like all friends are back together. They got to learn how to trust her again, build her forgiveness. And the good thing is she's free. Brittany's free from her brother. So, yeah, that was like a twisted kind of love they had going on. But anyways, I hope y'all guys enjoyed this review of this movie. And I hope y'all check it out as well. It's inspired by a true story. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.